Hey Internet, Shira here again, and today we're going to be doing a King's Raid video, and this King's Raid video is going to be a top 5 character list. This top 5 is not going to be more so, gauged on the usefulness of these characters, but more so on why I like them so much, as far as, looks go, aesthetics go, and as well as nostalgic factor goes. This game's only about like 8 months old or something like that, not that old, but some of these characters actually sort of pull on my heartstrings when I think about them. Even though some of these characters introduced in this video aren't that high of a level, and I think half of them aren't actually used anymore in my team comps, they are still sort of very important to me in King's Raid. So let's get right into it. So Refi's going to take my number 5 spot here, just due to the fact that he is hitting it right close to home for me as far as being a fairy tale and storybook type character, and that's just sort of a nostalgia factor for me. Refi is just this gorgeous character, straight out of the forest type looking furball, not the most useful character, but absolutely stunning in animation wise. His auto attacks are these 2 blue spiritual balls aiming right to the enemy, and his third skill is by far one of my favorite animations in this game. You're going to be laying this little circle on the ground, and afterwards it's going to be shooting these little spiritual balls right up in the air, and every time I hit it I can't help but just sort of be enthralled by it. Vespa did a really good job as far as nailing the aesthetics with Refi. As far as usefulness goes, third skill is kind of useless, but Refi earns his number 5 spot here just due to the fact that his character design and animations are just on point. So my number 4 spot is going to go to Fluss. Papa Bless, an assassin, did make it on this top 5 list, and the reason why I picked Fluss is because I'm basically a basic, and I'm a sucker for dual wielding type characters. Not so much daggers, but more so sword characters. A lot of the times in games I'll either pick the character that can have a pet or that can dual wield, and in this case Fluss really hits it on point on how a dual wielding character should look like. A lot of the times, a lot of companies will make a dual wielding character sort of look weak and kind of look like they're swinging a wet noodle around, but in this case Vespa did a really good job on hitting Fluss in the aesthetic sort of standpoint, being agile, swift, and impactful with the swings. Skill 1 being him doing these crisscross slashes in front of him and damaging whatever's in front of him. Skill 3 being sort of an extension of that, but more so focused on one character and immobilizing him from this flurry attacks. And skill 2 being looking like he watched a little too much Naruto and learned that substitute jutsu, but regardless of him being a weeb, he earns this number 4 spot in this top 5 list. And number 4 goes to Fluss. So my number 3 pick is going to be Pavel. Yeah, so this is sort of a blast to the past for me, because at the time when I first started this game we were having the 100-day login events, and at that time we got a 5-star selector unit as well as a unique weapon of our choice, and Pavel is sort of my big investment in the game because I used those 2 things for him. I got him as a 5-star and I got his unique weapon with that ticket as well. And at the moment, I think a lot of people would ask me if I did regret getting him and investing so much into him, because he isn't that useful at the current meta for PvP, for PvE, or raids. Anything he can do, a lot of other units can do better. But the time I spent playing with them, a little cheesy as that sounds, I absolutely loved it. His skills were very impactful at the time. Even now, if you look at his third skill, icicles raining down to the ground, you can sort of get shivers as they hit the ground. His skill 1 chaining from 1 unit to probably 5 other dragons when you're using him in the fire dragon raid or black dragon raid, and his icicle attack when it spawns twice because of the mechanics of the actual skill. Very, very, very amazing character, and I really hope that Vespa sort of turns their back, looks behind on the characters that aren't being used right now, and sort of kind of give Pavel that eye to eye where they're like, don't worry buddy, we're gonna get back to you and we're gonna make sure people know what gender you are. Off track. Priscilla, Maid of Steel, Aisha's personal maid, is gonna be second in my top 5 list, and she's a very recent addition to King's Raid, and the reason why I have her so highly on my list is because A, I have a maid fetish, and B, it's the synergy she has within her skill set to increase the amount of damage she does. But more importantly, increase the damage output of your team. So her second skill is co-op, able to increase the attack power of yourself by a fixed amount plus an additional percentage amount. Very, very strong skill, but it also has a sort of second statement to it where it's also going to do the same thing to the highest attack power unit in the team. So not only are you increasing your own attack power, but also another DPS's attack power who's probably going to be doing the most amount of damage there. And her third skill, if combined with her second skill, will increase the damage taken of an enemy hit by her third skill. So overall, a very selfless character in that sense, and that's why I love her so much. You know, she's going to be outputting a lot of damage, helping your team output a lot of damage, and just overall a gorgeous type character. So Priscilla, number 2 on my spot. So by far my most favorite character in this game is Big Ol' Daddy Nyx. Yes, Nyx. By far my most favorite character in this game. It's a little sad that we don't actually have a proper costume for him. Beachside Nyx is nice and all, Vespa, but you know, I do that in my head 24/7. But Nyx overall, why I love him so much is he was basically an impulse buy for me when I first started the game. Not first started the game, but when he first released. When I saw his skill set, being able to stack blades, and the more stacks he had, the more, you know, enemies he could hit. His third skill just opening up a portal out of nowhere and shooting these thousands of blades into the enemies' faces was just so cool to me. Not to mention, he's a mage, but he deals physical damage. So in this game, that's very unique in the sense that he's the only one who does that, right? He's this cool character, cool animations, cool concept. And Nyx, hoping you get a Halloween costume, baby. So there you guys have it. That's my top 5 favorite character list. I'm really sorry if I was really short on words on the characters. Looking back and editing through this video, I see that all I really said, if you know, condense everything together, it's just, yeah, that character's cool. Yeah, that character is aesthetically pleasing. It's very hard for me to put my emotions into words, especially in the case of Nyx and Pavel. Pavel I've had since the start of the game. Nyx was that character, like that first character where I was like, I gotta have this guy. I don't care if he's bad or good. He's gonna be in my team, right? And expressing those sort of feelings is very hard for me. So, like I said, I'm sorry if I was very short on words, but do know that I do have a lot of sort of personal connections with these characters, as cheesy as it sounds for a video game. And if you guys have your own favorite characters, go ahead and shoot them in the comments below. I would love to hear about it. I know there's a lot of Maria lovers, a lot of Epis lovers, right? Claus lovers. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Have a good one, guys. Peace.